Hi folks, hope everyone's having a great weekend. I've got a gift box to share with you. I'm not going to call it an unboxing because I've already unboxed it a while ago. But I wanted to do a video on it just to share with you what a very good brother has shared with me. His name is Mike Smith, and he included a handwritten letter, which I love these. They really take me back to the days before email and texting and all that. And I wish I could do a handwritten letter. I tried to do one to Tony of Analog Toys just recently, and my handwriting is not what it used to be, so the best I can do is the handwriting font in a printed letter. But Mike, thank you so much for this handwritten letter. He writes, "Michael, thank you for the amazing content that you and your wife create on YouTube. Your positivity really helps me out, and I enjoy the different types of videos you do. This is just one collector helping another, and I hope these help complete a small portion of your collection. I look forward to more epic videos and would like to help it more in the future. Have a great day and Nerdmas Day. Yo Joe, Mike Smith." So Mike, Nerdmas Day, thank you so much. The nerd in me honors the nerd in you. That is a wonderful gesture, and it's really touching and inspiring, and I appreciate it. So some of the stuff in this one, Mike originally commented on my Cobra Mamba video because it was missing a bunch of parts, so that is what's coming up. But one of the parts he included, I have this Dragstore figure from Masters of the Universe that was missing his crossbow. So Dragstore now has his crossbow. Clip that on there, and this deal is really cool. You just push this back and it hooks in, so you can actually like have a firing action to it. So even the weapons on He-Man had little gimmicks on them too. So that's really awesome that this guy has his weapon now. And Mike also included a little thing that I've been missing off the Mahler, and if you've seen some of my collection videos, tours, I'm missing little parts on a whole bunch of things. So I was missing the spare tire. These are tires off the Mahler, spare wheel. And on the back here, the control for the electronics, it's got a little peg there where you can fit a spare wheel, spare tire on the back. So that's really awesome that I have that now. So a lot of the stuff that's missing pieces, it's fine with me. I'd rather have it incomplete than not have it at all. But that just is an amazing feeling when you put that missing piece on there. That's really, really awesome. So thank you for that too, Mike. And Mike also included one of these guys, which if you've seen my history of Masters of the Universe, when I was showing off the Battle Ram, I was missing this thing, so I'm just gonna go grab that. All right, we got the Battle Ram here, which just had a big open hole there, and now you can take the missile, pop it in, and I've never even tried this thing to see if it works. Wish me luck. Oh, that's awesome. Sweet. That can actually be kind of a fun game. Catch the missile. Oh, got it. I'm actually a little tempted to keep going here. How long can I keep the streak? Man, that's fun. So that's awesome. Thank you, Mike, for that. Oh, looks fantastic. And a couple of more things in here. I was very surprised to see he included some vintage Star Wars figures. How awesome is that? We've got Bespin Han Solo, who I've never had, and I gotta tell ya, I've been thinking of getting some vintage, getting a vintage Han Solo Bespin figure to stick in the big Millennium Falcon, because I do have one of the vintage style Chewies. It's a 90s reissue, but the vintage figures, I just prefer them, even though I didn't grow up on them. I prefer them over the modern, super articulated stuff. So I've got a super articulated modern Han in the big Millennium Falcon, but I'd love to see what one of the vintage figures looks like in a modern vehicle, because the modern vehicles look fantastic. They're like models basically, but the vintage figures have that real classic fun to them, and an X-Wing pilot. So I've also been wanting to stick one of these vintage X-Wing pilots in my modern X-Wing. So I'm gonna grab my X-Wing here. It's like covered with a bunch of schmutz. Guess I haven't dusted it in a while. It's filthy. Wow. Got to clean your collection, I guess. This is just filthy. So this is the I have no idea what line, original trilogy collection or something, but it's the bigger, more modern X-Wing instead of the little vintage one. And I have one of the newer style Lukes in there. But let's see what the vintage Kenner looks like. Oh man, that's awesome. Is he gonna fit? Hunker him down a little bit, and he does fit. So you can't have a vintage pilot with a modern R2, and luckily good brother Joseph to the rescue. He sent me his vintage R2-D2 a while back, and he fits in there perfectly, so that's really cool too. Modern X-Wing with some vintage figures in it. That just looks awesome. And let's take a look and see what the vintage Han Solo looks like in the big Millennium Falcon. So here's the cockpit of the big Millennium Falcon, and right now we have Return of the Jedi set up in there. So let's take out these guys, and we'll pop in the Bespin Han Solo along with a vintage style Chewie and a C-3PO. Maybe someday I'll be able to find a Hoth Leia, but that looks great too. Yeah, awesome. Let's see if they can fire it up. Well, maybe next time. And finally, some Cobra Mamba missing parts. Now, I might be fine with some missing parts on my stuff, but I totally get how some other people just get this itch. And they're like, they can't get over the fact that your thing is missing parts. Which, by the way, I had a lot of trouble with these propellers when I did the review, and they're working much better now. I don't know if I loosened something up during the review, but this is working way better than it did. So I was missing some missiles on this, and what I ended up doing was taking, I think these are Fang 2 missiles, and since they're red, I just stuck them on the sides. So I was missing missiles, these big long ones. I was also missing the guns on the front pods. So Mike has sent me, this is just awesome, the front pod guns and the missing missiles. So for you completists out there who really love to see vintage toys completed when they're missing parts, we can stick this missile on the side and this second missile on the side and this top missile right here. So all missiles are accounted for on both sides, and see if I can figure out how to do this, since this is not one of my childhood toys, but it looks like it should just clip in there fairly easily. It's identical on both sides, so it's not like you can mess up left and right. It's pretty easy. Just drop it in there. It's got this hook right here that grabs on, and push it in, and there. Oh man, that's awesome. It's better. It looks better. Oh, that's fantastic. So there is a 99% complete Mamba, as they would call it on eBay, because all I'm missing is the back exhaust there. So Mike, that is so cool. Thank you so much for helping make this supercopter even more super, and for all the other stuff too. The vintage Star Wars figures, just so much more fun than the modern stuff for me. The Mahler parts, the Battle Ram missile, drag stores, crossbow. It's all so cool. So thank you so much for sharing all that with me, for the letter too. Keep all of those letters that you folks send me. They're very special to me, and it's cool to go back and reread them again from time to time. So thanks again, Mike. Just wanted to take a moment to personally thank you on the channel for your generosity. Hope everyone enjoyed watching this, and until next time, Erdmistay.